Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And, something that struck me the other day. I was sitting here looking at the fact that you have a lot of people here on YouTube who sell both programs and supplements. So let me go ahead and put on my +5 hat of speechcraft, lovingly called my +5 hat of autism by many of you. And let's talk about this. And I mean, perfect examples. I'll give you guys two examples of guys who present themselves as science-based. You got like Jeff Nippard, and these aren't the only people. Believe me, there's hundreds of people out there who fit this. I'm just using these as examples. Jeff Nippard, very science-based dude. And then you have like Jeff Cavalier, Athlean-X. Again, always says stuff like put the science back in strength, right? They say things like this, right? And they both sell programs, but then you go look at, these are guys, for example, who sell supplements. But you look at the supplements that they sell, and what do these guys sell? Well, they sell things that we have studies that show that don't actually work. They don't help you gain muscle. They don't help you gain strength. They don't help with recovery, right? They do, and that's not even subject to debate. So, I mean, here's the point I'm going to get to with this. Everyone wants to talk about honesty on here. Like, anytime any person does anything that viewers feel is any sort of lie, they want to rip all over it. But you have people who literally talk about being science or evidence-based practitioners, yet they sell products to you. They literally sell products for money that the science says do not give you benefits. And the top two that come to mind immediately, because both of these guys carry them, and I know some of you are going to argue. You're going to argue, and that's okay. We can argue all we want, but there is good data on this stuff. There's good research. And here's the thing. When you have any well-funded large study done on a supplement and it doesn't cause any muscle growth or improvements in muscle protein synthesis, that's not a good thing, because you only need one to throw doubt into something like that. All right, and the first one is going to be like pre-workouts. Pre-workout's a perfect example. A lot of people say, well, I just can't get to the gym. I'm tired. I need the pre-workout. No, you're giving bad programming. And that's going to be the incidental thing. There's problems with the public programming both of these guys put out, that have put out this year. Right? There are fatigue management issues in their programming. Like, I don't think either one of these guys actually know how to really write programs. And I'm going to say that honestly, based upon just the stuff they put out publicly. And then they're going to sell pre-workouts, right? And well, you have people who are like, well, I need a stimulant to make it through my workout. Well, if you just consider that maybe your coach is writing a shitty program for you. I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, we've all been at points in our life where it's hard to train due to our life. A lot of hours at work, a lot of stuff going on, right? That happens to everybody. But if you're at a point to where you're not eating stems to make it through poorly managed workouts. And what are we talking about with poorly managed? Well, fatigue management. That fits into your total lifestyle. All right? Optimal programming, training optimally, is going to be what's optimal for your current life situation. The amount of hours you log at work, the amount of stress you're under at work influences in this dynamic environment what's optimal fatigue management and loading parameters. That affects it. Absolutely affects it. And I can tell you one thing that doesn't work is using stems to make it through a workout when you're having problems with fatigue management. I can tell you right now that will eventually bury you. Your gains will not be there. They're going to slow down because you're not going to be recovering correctly between the workouts to make adaptations. Taking stems and pre-workouts in general to boost performance in your training when you're already fatigued and it's because of a fatigue situation or something going on in your life is again like cutting the end of a blanket off and then sewing it to the other side thinking it's going to make it longer. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. And it's not my opinion on it. My opinion, your opinion is irrelevant. I can give you examples and explain that's bad programming. This has been studied. There's only been one very large-scale, well-funded, well-done study on pre-workouts, and it was done on craze back in the day at a university level, and they found that the people who used craze versus placebo didn't have any long-term benefit, meaning they didn't have any more muscle or strength gains than the people who didn't, but they were all put on good programs and good diets. Now, we could argue that maybe if you're on a really bad program, maybe a pre-workout would help. because maybe you'll push a little harder. Maybe it's a program that doesn't induce enough fatigue. Okay, fine. But that's not why anybody's taking them. I don't see anyone taking them because they're saying, oh, I'm lazy, so I need it. They're saying it's because I'm tired. All right, that is two different things. Because if you're tired, it's not that you're lazy, it's that your lifestyle isn't in an ideal situation. So pushing harder is probably not going to be in your best interest at that point. But you also have the issue of the psychological arousal of it can interfere with recovery if taken too far. But there's no evidence that they actually do anything other than give you a buzz, right? There's no real evidence that these pre-workout supplements actually help with your adaptation. It's the same thing with what? Branched chain amino acids. They both sell branched chain amino acids. Okay, let's be honest here. All of the real science-based people have backed out on BCAAs, other than a few con men who have always made money on them since they first hit before there was any evidence at all. Why have all the evidence-based people with PhDs backed out of selling branched chain amino acids? Why? Because multiple meta-analysis confirm they don't help with muscle growth, they don't help with muscle protein synthesis when taken by themselves. And I'm not saying branched chain amino acids don't, I'm saying branched chain amino acid supplements don't. Why? Because protein, they are, leucine in the branched chain amino acids is a big driver of anabolic drive, right? It's actually critical. It is critical for muscle growth. Sufficient leucine is an absolute requirement for maximizing muscle growth. It is an absolute requirement in the body. The problem, when taken by itself, it doesn't have any effect. So people need to understand the difference here. You have a set of substances that are a critical part of the matrix, that if they're insufficient in your total diet, you will not be able to gain muscle. You will not be able to get a proper training response from your lifting. However, it has to be part of the entire protein. It's got to be all the essential amino acids there. When taken by itself, they don't help. In fact, it's been studied even infusing it with an IV. Like meta-analysis has looked at all this and found that branched chain amino acids aren't a useful supplement. They're not helpful to you. They're not. Now, you're going to have people, but I take them and they seem to help. Well, it's called a placebo. That's called a placebo. And if you essentially have someone selling you an overpriced placebo and then you're thinking that they're doing you a favor, they're not. So here's the point I'm going to come to with all this. You have all these guys like this, they sell you supplements that they know based on the science don't work. They're selling you products that they know don't work, that provably do not give you the benefits that you think you're getting from them. And you're going to buy programs from these people? You're going to send them money for other products. When you know, it's provable. It's not even a real debate on this. We know they are selling products that are a scam. That is what the scientific literature says. That these things don't work. You know, we know steroids work. I mean, we can argue about that, but they're good studies. There's extremely strong studies that show that steroids actually work better than most people think they do, even who use them. Because a lot of the stuff out there on the black market is underdosed. There's fakes and underdosed stuff. And so what a lot of people think they're using, they'll see a study and be like, I don't get quite that good of gains off of this stuff. Well, yeah, because you're not getting the fully dosed deal. That's why. The studies show it works. It's not even subject to debate. You don't even have to lift weights to get big on gear. The good stuff, that's provable. Multiple studies have confirmed it. It works way better than lifting weights, even without lifting weights. So you have things like that. So if these things work, the studies would show it. Like when we study it in the human body, they would show that they work. They don't. I gave you two examples of products that have been studied pretty well, and they're not beneficial to you. These are guys who sell them and still stand by them in spite of that fact. Now, this is how bad their evidence-based stuff is when it comes to making a dollar. So people are then going to see that and realize that from that end, and you know, they might be good in other regards, right? They might be good with some of their other good information. They might have useful things to say. Like not everyone is universally good or bad. Almost no one is. There's good and bad with all of us. But they are literally conning people as evidence-based people, conning people into products that do not work. That doesn't set a good track record. So why would anyone buy programs from people who already sell other products that provably don't work? How do you know their programs aren't just as bad? Because these are individuals who seem to be willing to look the other way in regards to science and evidence if they can make money on it. How do you know they're just not throwing together some piece of shit program that may not actually be that good? Or that may not even be good for your goals. It's just a cookie cutter program that you could have got for free. Unless it's got custom tailored templates and descriptions of how to use all of them, maybe. You don't. You know, and that's the thing, and people will keep buying this crap. They'll keep buying all this crap from these people who as far as their actual products are proven charlatanry happening, it's not really subject to debate. Like if you were to take that into a courtroom and, you know, if they were tried for selling fake products that claim that work and you were to pull the meta-analysis, even a jury would look at that and be like, yeah, the evidence shows they don't work. I don't know, maybe some laws need to change regarding supplement industry. What would that do to this industry? Not allowed to sell products that don't work? People could sue your company for it? Dietary Supplement Act of 1995 might need to go for that to happen. And what would happen to all these charlatans who are selling all this junk? It'd be interesting. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.